What's up, traders? Eric here from MajorLeagueTrading.com. And what a weird flip-floppy market. Like I don't even know how else to describe the action in which we've seen here. Just taking a look at the S&Ps here. Opening print on the day, 50.43s. We rallied up. We got new all-time highs here, 50.66.50s. Pulled back, tried to make a run at those here later in the day. And then just kind of out of nowhere here, just feels like this just gave it up quite a bit there. So does it really lead to any sort of major quote-unquote pullback, right? Do we get down in towards, the 5,006 level, which, again, realistically, once we broke up through 5,000 so far, we really haven't come back to retest it. And I think there were a lot of people that were, anxious, nervous, excited, eager to get in here in this move. And now we got to be looking at this and going, okay, we tried to go higher today and we failed, right? So what does that mean from here? And the big thing is, like, this is only half the story, right? So not even half the story. It's only a quarter of the story, because when we look across the board, at the Russell here, I was expecting the Russell to make a run up into 2049.60s today here. And we did catch a nice little trade out of the Russell here for a little over 5 points this morning, and then called it done for the day, which, again, wasn't necessarily part of my plan. I saw, the strength come in in the early morning. It presented a super nice risk-reward opportunity for a move up in towards that 2049s. Obviously, I didn't hold that the full move. But these markets are just really flip-floppy, right? Like, look at the Russell here holding basically highs, if you will, highs of the day, 2060s, for the most part, like throughout the day, right? And then you've got the NASDAQ, dropping 200 points into the close off of the highs here. You got a 30 some odd point, 32 and some change point pullback out of the S&Ps into the close there, and meanwhile the Russell just goes completely sideways. So the question becomes, like, does that mean the Russell is potentially the short for tomorrow at a certain point, like if we get extended to the upside, or is this going to continue for another day or two and we see, more Russell strength and NASDAQ S&P weakness, for example? And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure, right? These are flip-flop markets, and this is ultimately, what I think a lot of 2024 is going to be. So yeah, we're going to have to, they'll prove themselves in the morning, and then by the afternoon, it looks like it could obviously change. So with that being said, we do have this level up here at 50.60.75s. We do have a level down here at 5006s. So with that being said, my game plan into tomorrow here, I've kind of scanned across the board, and there were a couple of names that looked maybe like they were trying to do something decent here, Meta being one of those with OPEX here, which is another thing in which we have to, kind of be aware of, be prepared for this week is options expiration. And I would venture to say it's probably I haven't looked at the numbers, but I would venture to say, given where we're at in the earnings season and things which we have going on, that it's probably a fairly big one. And we're so close to the $5,000 number, out of the S&Ps, which means we're also really close to the $5,000 number here for SPX. So in some weird way, I think it would kind of make sense if we end up closing somewhere on the week around 5,000, right? Maybe we, again, like today, we try and go higher. We get a little bit too far away from that 5,000, and it's like, okay, pull us back. Maybe we end up making a move. I'll do this out so you guys can see. Maybe we end up making a move down here towards, like, I don't know, 49.80s, 49.75s, right? Down in here somewhere, and then that ends up getting pulled back, right? So it could end up being a rather range-bound type of week here, and that mixed with the flip-flop market of, like, the Russell and the NASDAQ pairs that have kind of been going on here, I think it's going to be a rather difficult week in the terms of just a trend, but I do think there will be some good trading opportunities available to us. We're just going to have to be super patient for those to occur. So, anyways, I was looking at today as being kind of like more of a data gathering day for myself and like, hey, let me get a little bit more information on these charts, and then we can start to build a game plan here going into the end of the week. But ultimately today leaves me, kind of stuck right back in the same exact position that I was this morning. Although I have, put on a little bit of, or I did put on a little bit of risk and have a little bit of cushion now, for the rest of the week. And that might be just the theme of the week, is some small scalps and things along the way. I do think there's something coming, a nice trend at some point. But at the moment, I'm just not seeing it on the charts just yet. And again, the names in which I was watching for potential breakouts, something like a Meta, like I was talking about, it kind of just ruined itself here today. So to be honest, I don't have any top watches at the moment, and we're just gonna have to let this market figure itself out, and we can wrap the video up from there, and ultimately see where this ends up going. So anyways, as always, thank you guys so much. Take care. Hope it helps, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.